Today, I'm joined by Navy veteran, author, actor, husband, and father for a special conversation on how to have real, lasting transformation this year. Cody Bobay, welcome to Healing Time.
Hey, Dr. Doug, thank you so much.
So good to have you.
Yeah,
and
appreciate it.
love your story. You know, I guess were you a Navy SEAL or what were you?
No, I was an air crewman.
Air crewman.
U.S. Navy air crewman, yeah.
All right, and so, but you wrote some good books, this SoulCon Challenge. This is like a 6-week challenge for people. You got the SoulCon Warrior Devotional. But this is a new year, you know, and it's kind of funny, they call us believers, but but every January we re-believe for something, okay?
Funny.
And we re-believe for better finances, better life, better body. Let's talk about goals first, because without a goal, you go nowhere, right? If you can't see it, you can't go there. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I'm an actor, and I do action films. I have my next action film. You know, I always say that my next one's coming out. I have a film called Savage, and I did Hold the Past. And I always tell guys that the movie 300 changed my life because I was on a deployment. I was a naval air crewman. We went and watched the movie, and I remember thinking, yes, all of us want to have abs like King Leonidas. We don't know if
any computer can do that, right?
Yeah. And I say all the time, there's motivation with the idea of discipline that comes from the emotional excitement of seeing the new year. That we just like watching a movie, like, man, I want to be like those guys in 300 and be shredded. Well, that's really good. That's motivation. But we need to get to where we're inspired every single day to do the hard thing. And as followers of Jesus, this is why I constantly say, like, man, let's set some amazing goals, but your standard is the cross every morning. You need to pick up the cross and follow Christ. That means you're expected to fast. You're expected to live free from sexual addictions. And the great news is you're expected because you have the power to do it.
Well, you're kings and queens. Act like one.
Act like one.
Right, get up.
You have this power. So when you get to have that motivation from a film or the new year, that's so great. But like Zig Ziglar says, motivation's like a shower. You need one every morning. So you need to be motivated constantly, but where do we get those disciplines and like how do we develop disciplines where...
Well, a lot of people in Christianity want results and they want them microwave. I think Christians sometimes don't want to embrace a discipline, even though they want the results of a discipline. And then they get mad that they're fat, or they get mad that they're broke, or they get mad that God didn't come through for them supernaturally when the discipline would have guaranteed that result because seeds guarantees the results of that seed.
I tell people if you could get this mindset with discipline, it will probably change your life. To say at the start of every year, you're gonna climb 52 flights of stairs, and you're gonna finish at the top of a building and overlook and say, hey, you did it. We have a lot of people, and if people could do this, they climb 5 sets of stairs and they slip and fall and they just trip. And they start crying and they go back down to the bottom of the stairs and they give up. It's like, wait a second, you're still on floor 5. Like, great job. Just get back up, wipe off, like falling hurts. None of us like to fall, and continue to the 52nd floor. But we have a lot of Christians that fall on week 7, week 8 of new disciplines, and they go back down to where they started, and they sit down and they give up, and they emotionally start to cry and make these excuses of, I can never do that. And it's like, no, the stairs are still there. You can get up them, but it's gonna take endurance. So I tell people, like,
endurance isn't a popular idea.
It's because it's...
I mean, who wants to run a marathon? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
so
serious,
hard.
Cody. Like, who wants to say, yeah, I'm going to run 20 miles? Well, no, you're not going to run 20. You're going to run one 20 days in a row. Okay?
and once you get to that...
Once you get that, one won't be enough for you. You'll have to go 2. You know, it's the same thing. Like I tell people all the time, just get your body to the gym. The magic will happen. You'll do something. Even if you only burn 30 calories, you'll do something.
You'll do something.
Just show up.
And yes, I always say, because people ask me, tell me about, like, I want abs. Like a lot of dudes, they want Leonidas abs. I said, they ask me, does it start in the kitchen? Does it start in the gym? And they always have that question. I said, no, it starts in your mind.
That's a fair answer.
When I got married, I made a commitment to my wife where cheating on her was not an option.
Right.
And when I set a goal, I have to have that same intensity to say, I'm not going to break it, but why do I have that level of intensity? Because I've counted the cost.
Right.
We have too many people that make really stupid goals, especially at the start of the year, and they don't count the cost. Like, hey, I'm gonna save $100 a week. Do you have $100 extra to save? If not, you're not going to save it.
Right,
So we
right.
have to break that down and say maybe you have $10 extra a week you're going to save. Maybe you can't, you're 400 pounds over, you're 400 pounds, you're 200 pounds overweight, or wherever you're at. You're not going to run a marathon at the end of the first quarter. Run a 5K at the end of the second quarter. Walk a 5K at the end of the second quarter.
Right.
But we have to be really practical because our emotions can deceive us in thinking that we are stronger and more capable than we really are. Because I can watch King Leonidas and think, man, that's amazing. I'm going to go do that. Then you go to the gym.
For a week.
And you, yeah. And you're not.
100 sit-ups for a week.
Yeah, and, you know, you're not stretching and you're not hydrated and you haven't lifted weights in a while. You're going to get hurt if you try to train at that level. Nutrition is such a big deal. So it's starting really simple, and this is what I tell people. If you can gain the discipline of reading the Bible every year, it's one of my favorite disciplines. It's so, I was active duty in the Navy, and I found out that our president, our commander-in-chief, read the Bible every year, and it was George W. Bush. I remember thinking, there's no excuse for me never not to read the Bible every year.
Right.
And I'm not a fast reader. I'm not a super, I have college degrees, and I'm super grateful for all of that, but it takes me 10 minutes a day to read the Bible through. So if I can have that, and people are like, oh, don't you fall behind? All the time, because I just finished Jeremiah. And I was in Jeremiah, and I have to I use AI to help me study, and I'm looking in a concordance, and I get behind.
Sure.
But it doesn't mean that I give up.
So the first thing is, it's got to start in your mind. You got to have a discipline, okay? You know, the great saying, great abs start in the kitchen. That's true, you know, because like when I was bodybuilding, guys would come up to me at the gym and say, hey, how are you doing that? Right? I go, okay, I said, I'll tell you how.
Yeah.
And because here's what you need to do. Eat 5 times a day, 600 calories, mostly protein, only clean carbs. Do that for 2 weeks, and I'll give you the rest. And I've never had anyone come back because they don't want to embrace the discipline of the result. And so whatever your goal is, take it down to the discipline that you need, okay? And let's continue our conversation there. Okay, I said I want these abs, I want wealth, I want better relationships. Like better relationships are discipline. You got to pray with your wife. You know, share your feelings with her. Praise her. You do those things, wash her with the word every day. That's a discipline. Paul's like, if you want a great marriage, here's the disciplines. Do you wash every day? Do you eat every day? Okay, loving a woman's a discipline. And if you get that, you're going to be fine. It's
magnificent. And disciplines are, I mean, we're disciples of Christ. It should be in our DNA as we follow Jesus. And I think once we understand that discipline isn't an intimidating way to live, it's the
And it's not
standard.
legalism. It's not legalism if I'm imposing it on myself.
Yes.
If I'm saying to me, okay, me, we're going to fast once a week, or okay, me, we're going to go for a 30-minute walk every day. I will lose 10 pounds if I do that. Okay, if I do it at a certain time and I'm not eating ice cream at night, right? And so, this is what we're going to do, okay? But in the next time, I don't get more into this, but we have to have that resolve. Right? What are symptoms of resolve?
Yeah, well, when you have that resolve, Dr. Kenneth Cooper talked about this, and I love it. I have 2 certifications from Dr. Kenneth Cooper from the Cooper Institute in Dallas, the guy that made the word aerobics, and he calls it the hot button. A lot of people have those hot buttons that you hit, and it creates the resolve of, I'm not going to quit no matter what. And I'm not sure what that is for everybody, but as a believer, we should have that hot button to say, my body is absolutely a spiritual sacrifice, body, soul, and spirit that I can make to God.
But they don't really believe that.
But once you
they don't really believe
that. They don't. And
I mean, in the church, we don't really believe that.
And I realize when I started
you know what I'm
speaking,
saying?
when you say
we kill guys like you.
Yes.
Who I mean, because I had a pastor friend of mine who was sent to a conference with pastors who were known for being obese. The whole denomination of obese pastors, and they said, "We're bringing you in to be the sacrifice lamb. I want you to talk about gluttony," and so. The body at large doesn't really go, I'm a temple that needs to be clean, that needs to have discipline, needs to be sacred, needs to be a conduit to be able to hear the voice of God, and to live long enough to outlive the sinners so that I can share the gospel longer. Like, it's a numbers game. Let's share the gospel longer than the sinners are sharing sin.
And when I started speaking to men's conferences and seeing the worst F word you could say in the church is fat. It was so bad.
That is so true.
And I started to share with people like, hey, fat is something we all need.
Accumulated sin.
Oh my gosh.
On me. I'm talking to Doug.
Yeah,
Okay. If I start, I go, you know what? That's on me.
Yep.
It's not on my wife. It's not on my dog. It's not on my friends. It's not on my family. It's not my mommy and my daddy. It's me. It's me eating the cupcakes.
Yep.
It's me doing the thing. I know what to do. We all know what to do, whether it's finances, relationships, or food.
Yeah, and it just really comes down to the simplicity of Satan has come to steal, kill, and destroy, and Jesus came to give us life and life more abundantly. And you cannot have the best life possible if you're constantly experiencing gluttony and walking in obesity for your frame, your brain, your physical heart, and your musculoskeletal system. And I had a conversation with Franklin Graham a long time ago about this, and he was working to get missionaries ready and healthy. And he said, I need people prepared to operationally do this task. And we were dealing with obesity as the main problem with that. And it's really difficult because it comes down to, like you said, it's on us. It's a personal condition to say, man, if you want a marriage that is without sexual sin, it's on each person to walk in fear and trembling of the Lord, purity, love with the Lord. And discipline's the same way. I've been married for 19 years, over 19 years to my wife. We have an amazing marriage because of love.
For more content and resources to help in your healing journey with Christ, make sure to follow Dr. Doug Weiss on Facebook and Instagram. If you'd like to share full episodes of this show with friends and family, subscribe to Healing Time Ministries on YouTube, and feel free to leave us a comment on any of Dr. Doug's social media platforms. Our team would love to hear your feedback and learn how Healing Time is impacting your life, your church, and your ministry.